Like fire incidents. We had that incidents, didn't they?
It was a war game. The Phantom was doing an attack on Saratoga. The F-14 pilot basically went, "Oh hell, something's attacking Saratoga," and launched a Sidewinder at it.
I mean, why did it have live munitions in a fucking training exercise?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
That is a very good question.
Don't you tell your, like, Cap that there's going to be a training exercise?
Yeah, he never flew again.
Well, you wouldn't. Was there a casualty?
No. Well, I mean, the Phantom, but the guy flying it and the Phantom's crew were fine. They ejected.
Right. They're just like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Whereas now,
Yeah.
so what? Like the carrier was just doing normal operations, but didn't.
It was a war
wasn't
game.
partaking in this training exercise. Were they partaking in the war game?
They might have been partaking in the war game, but apparently the Phantom.
AI is dumb as bricks.
Apparently the Tomcat pilot was just having a bit of a bad day.
He was having a bad day.
Well,
The Phantom pilots had the worst day.
well, I mean, the Phantom pilots weren't the ones who made the accidental judgment call of, "Oh hell, there's a plane that doesn't look like me, shoot it." Which I suppose, you know, in event of it being a Russian jet or something, that would have been an admirable response time. But
Well, imagine if it was a joint training exercise.
that would have been hilarious.
Would have been a nightmare of foreign
Say
policy.
joint training exercise. The Americans, the British.
Policy.
No,
British,
to be fair, getting killed by the Americans is good training for American allies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good training for the Americans too. The worst friendly fire incident I know of in history was in the Korean War. A company of Marines had just captured a hill, and the hill opposite was full of North Koreans, so they set up their their aircraft identification thing, because there was a squadron of P-51s coming in to napalm bomb the next hill across. The Koreans on the next hill across that they were going to napalm bomb copycatted the IFF. So they sort of flipped a coin and picked the wrong head.
I mean, you have to respect them for that. That's fucking clever.
Yeah, it's just out of like
Surely, in that case,
A
they should have
horrible way to
not
go. Friendly
bombed
fire
anything.
yeah, that's the issue.
It's like, oh, we got these bombs. Can't be asked
Or, you
taking them
know,
out.
radio communication or something. Just
Yeah.
anything but that.
But American over-reliance on air support.
There were a lot of decisions that aircrew could have made, and they very much picked the wrong one.
See, the B-24 bombing a U-boat towing civilians.
But good news.
The U-boat flying Red Cross flags and saying that we are not attacking people, we are trying to help survivors here. So, you know, just the US committing war crimes.
Aha! I've got both the seeds out.
That said, the first friendly fire incident of World War II... Oh, hell, there's a Paris.
Take him down!
The first friendly fire incident of World War II was British. A squadron of RAF Spitfires saw a squadron of RAF Hurricanes and went, well, those don't look like Spitfires, and proceeded to shoot them down.
Incredible.
And it's not even like it was a Polish squadron of Hurricanes or something. These people were shouting at them in English back.
Over the radio.
Yeah.
Fire on port.
Though I seem to remember that radio at that point in the war was sort of a case of everybody in a wing had receive, but only the commanders had transmit,
Yikes.
or something like that. Oh yay, so this Paris lands a salvo on me, and I am blacked all of my secondaries and a pump, and 2 rangefinders. I land a salvo on him and set him on fire, but I get 1 hit and it slightly oranges a compartment.
Okay, pumps are for some reason.
Sorry?
I'm sorry for suckers. You don't need those.
Oh, I set fire to something. Probably nothing vital there.
Probably. I mean, it's a Paris. The entire thing is non-vital, apparently.
It's
dirty
just
old
the
commie.
bloody torp bulges have been implemented weirdly or something.
I'm not shooting the tort bulges.
Yeah, but you'll still hit him. Reasons.
Well, the other team has dirty old commie and mope on it.
Yeah, and that's what it takes to incapacitate a turret. It's ridiculous.
The enemy is winning.
What are we whatting?
The amount of 12-inch shells it took me to incapacitate that turret was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I really want those sap shells. These HE shells do fuck all sometimes.
Yep, and then other times they just insta-gib.
I mean, I just hit that, what? New Orleans? Didn't really do anything.
You set a Paris on fire, and that's the only thing the damage log is listed for you.
Really
You go
a
around
mixed
the back
bag,
in a
and whether or not
battleship?
it'll tell you what you did.
Well, it only does... it only tells you fire and kills.
Doesn't tell you criticals in naval.
Nope.
I guess it really isn't
Against
criticals.
planes it does, but there aren't any criticals in naval.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are, it's just... It's typically
No, they're
a
not.
case
They're
of...
not
counted
counted
as
as criticals.
criticals.
Because you look at the tournament as leaderboards, and one of the columns is critical hits, and it's
Oh,
all
really?
0.
You have a useless column there.
It against planes it helps. Sometimes someone gets like one crit against the plane.
That's my point, there are crits, it's just usually in naval, if you get something that would be considered a crit, the ship ceases existing, because...
Oh no, you can hit a ship anywhere, any amount, and it'll never count as a crit.
I'm saying there are things that should count as one.
Oh yeah.
Not, main battery for one thing.
Wait, no, doesn't the... No, the replays say compartment damaged. I don't think it does on live.
I've just noticed that you can actually see it on the 3D model for Wyoming, that they have actually bothered modeling the extra 3 inches of armor on the roof. Or 3 inches, 3-pound STS plate. Not 3 pound, 70
Oh no,
pound.
the Easterners are waking up. I should definitely be asleep by now.
You should definitely be asleep, it's 11:20 in the morning.
Battleship. Is there anything not a battleship I can shoot? There's a helicopter.
I'm having fun.
Grinding your boxes.
Since
I
When you
know
say
that's
grinding
just your
boxes,
accent.
it sounds more fun than it actually is.
I know that's just your accents at work, but it sounded like you said boxers.
Grinding boxes.
Attack the enemy.
And you
Hey,
can
I
take
heard
that.
someone talk about the new Castlevania game the other day. And I was just imagining a fucking Geordie vampire game.
Oh, that would be depressing.
It's the fact that I probably put 3 or 4 salvos of 12-inch into that guy's front turrets, and all I did was incapacitate one of the front turrets.
Yep.
What shell are you using?
American 12-inch shells.
Oh, American, okay. Yeah, American
this
shells
isn't-
just suck for some reason.
This isn't War Thunder, this is the arbitrary stats game.
This is the arbitrary stats game after it's bug reported as being wrong, so they change it to something else that's arbitrary. I should also point out that, the 12-inch 50 with its 5 extra feet of barrel, for some reason in-game has the same performance as 12-inch 45. And this applies
Really
to
haven't.
Wyoming versus Nordak, Colossus versus Dreadnought, and Setsu's own guns versus Setsu's own guns.
Yeah, but
Something,
Colossus
something,
is the
copy
best.
paste.
Colossus is the best battleship in the game.
Apparently.
I just haven't had any desire to do War Thunder Naval.
Well, I'm grinding Pittsburgh. That's the only reason I'm playing the US.
I would like to get Pittsburgh. Literally, I did not care about anything until they were going to add a tech-free Baltimore. They finally added a tech-free Baltimore, but I can't be bothered to play the game.
Yeah, maybe when the BR updates, it's a bit less evil.
Maybe, but it's not going to make a difference for Baltimore, which is the thing I enjoy playing most.
It will be easier to get to it.
No, but he's playing Baltimore as in the event Baltimore, which is going to 6-0. Which is to say, I'll probably guarantee to get Battleship games still.
Yep, nothing will change.
I don't know, it'll be less because it'll be 2 battle ranks instead of 1 difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a higher BR
Well, it
than,
depends.
Ecoma or...
I mean, nothing German is going to 6-0,
Yeah, that too.
despite the fact they have the most.
But hey, national matchmaking. The entire 6-3 team.
I think
just
the
made
only
the
things
Germans.
that will convince me to play War Thunder Naval, whether or not they fix it, would be Alaska or Scharnhorst.
Well, both of those things are known to exist in the files.
It will get Scharnhorst at some point.
In before they add the World War I Scharnhorst.
So that make a good April Fool.
Those are the 2 ships I like enough that I would actually grind through the whole thing, whether or not I was having fun to get.
I've already said that if they add Warspite, like either as a premium or as a tech tree, I will either buy it or grind the entire British tree just to get it, you know? Because I am that much of a sap for plot armor.
Zap.
Plot armor.
Yeah, Warspite had plot armor.
Yeah.
The only issue is that the plot then decided to kill her. The plot being Parliament.
Well, it's not like we had any money.
No, but
Museum ships
decided
are
to-
expensive.
they decided
Man, your
to scrap
iconic
her.
ship didn't get saved. I wonder what that's like.
Hey, at least you got some.
Oh,
Because they didn't get retired until the 80s.
it's an American complaining about lack of museum ships.
Texas
No,
was
I'm not
retired and
complaining
turned
about the
into a
lack of
museum in
museum
48.
ships. What I'm complaining about is the museum ships that actually got saved versus the ones that could have been saved.
Anything specific? I don't really know much.
Enterprise, Saratoga.
Enterprise being the biggest one.
I mean,
Yeah,
hell,
One of the
any of
most
the standards.
influential ships in the entire war.
They saved North Carolina, but not Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington actually did stuff.
I don't actually know anything about North Carolina's career.
My only knowledge of North Carolina's career is that she sailed in and out of New York constantly in the pre-war or in the early pre-war period, when she was on her trials and stuff, to earn the nickname Showboat, because she'd sail out in the morning and come back in time for the theater.
I feel a bit alone out here, Joram.
Well, I seem to have occupied the Paris, so you're more than welcome to kill it.
The North Carolina service history.
I'd imagine there's a decent amount of Atlantic in it. Because, I mean, like, you know, what's South Dakota most famous for? Being a punching bag.
But hey, at least she participated in a
Wait, is that
pretty
a
iconic battle.
Where's the hole in your armor, Joram?
My nose.
Like under the front turrets?
Basically, forward of the casemates. And above the bulge.
Let's try to put some HE in there, let's see what happens.
You know, think about it. South Dakota's career is kind of like your average random teammate. Sails in with you, gets beaten the absolute shit out of, does nothing, leaves.
I was counting that off of my fingers as you were saying it. And you also missed the does nothing because it's her own fault that she got beaten up.
Literally in capable of fighting sails in anyway.
Washington is literally the good guy teammate. Shows up, wins the fight, doesn't brag about it.
Gets left behind, beats the shit out of everyone anyway.
Yeah. Like, I think Lee claimed something like 9 16-inch hits on Kirishima. The Japanese claimed 30. As in, that Kirishima got hit 30 times.
Hey, these encounter matches are really good for the event. But every time I say the event, I just think of the Mitchell and Webb sketch.
You and your comedians I don't find funny.
You don't like Mitchell and Webb? Fair enough. I like the sketch show.
Mm.
The Peep Show is not if you don't like cringe comedy.
I just don't really like David Mitchell.
Fair. Which is weird because, like, you'd assume you would. Like, you're sort of the main demographic of intellectual bent, like, history-loving.
I just find him annoying.
It's fair. That's subjectivity for you.
Yep.
That might amuse you.
Could I try to destroy this Wyoming? Because they deserve to die for being inferior.
Here's a question for you. What was the major limiting factor on US battleship size in the Dreadnought period?
That was pre-Panama.
Major limiting factor, like pre-treaties?
Yeah.
Shipyard size?
Shipyard size is partially part of it, but it's
Imagine
tangential.
propulsion.
No, the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That limited the height.
In hell, the
That's actually
size
kind of funny.
So I
was
think
it the size of the solid rocket boosters on the space shuttle is derived from the width of 2 horses' arses.
well, yeah, because they have to fit within standard gauge loading gauge, and standard loading gauge is based on the fact that the rails are 4 foot 8.5 apart, and they're 4 foot 8.5 apart because Stevenson decided to use the existing gauge for wagons, which is derived from ruts in the road from wagons being 2 horses' asses apart.
Yep.
Which goes back to Roman roads.
I think it was specifically there was a tunnel that they had to go through on the rail, so
Mm.
there was no leeway. It's not like they could oversize it a bit.
Well, it's because they had to go through the Rocky Mountains.
That seems an unoriginal name.
Well, it's because they were
But-
especially rocky. You know, I mean, it's more it's nicer than like Sierra Nevada, which literally just sort of means pointy knife thing.
Sounds like the thing from Fallout.
That's because
All
Fallout
mountain.
takes place on one side of the Sierra Nevadas. Literally, the left border of Fallout New Vegas is the Sierra Nevadas,
Destroy the target!
which are actually not in Nevada. They're in California, but that's because they were named for. Well, yeah.
What's the name of that casino in the Ghost DLC?
Not the Lucky 38. The one that it's a movie, the Sierra Madre.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But that's based on a movie.
Yeah.
Like
know
straight
a lot.
up is a rib. I can't remember the name of the movie. It might actually just be the Sierra Madre.
Look up. I've never really played New Vegas. I've just watched a lot of Let's Plays.
Just never played Fallout.
I hit his front. I hit his front. He is fucked. God. It's so dumb.
Yep, here we are. 1927 Western by B. Traven. Turning to a 1948 film directed by John Huston. Treasure of the Sierra that. What is setting me on fire? Oh, a Mogami.
You know, I was saying I've spent my money in warships, I'm never gonna spend it again. And then I'm like, if they rerun Jean Bart Black, I could get a Jean Bart.
Does World Warships have like a gaijin coin system?
No.
Because there's no route to turn like stuff into currency.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a
you
really
can't
good
trade
guide.
things with other players at all.
Because like literally, you can get any premium in War Thunder
For free.
eventually.
I mean, theoretically, you could do that with a lot of the wargaming stuff if you get free gold somehow, but the ways of getting free whole gold are so few and far between.
Mm. It's like, you can technically get free gems in Azerlane. It's just...
Yeah, forget about it.
I mean, I actually
Well, I
got
mean-
some in a gem com yesterday, but
I have never had those actually give me gems.
I think that's
Not
the
even
third or
once.
fourth time.
I know you can get free armor trimming in RuneScape.
That's a torpedo.
Well, it's, you know, and that's part of, and that's really why I give Arknights so much praise. They give you so much premium currency.
Yeah, it's just the game has nothing that I'm interested in.
Oh, that's fair. It's like, it's so easy to do the daily that I do it every day, and then when I actually feel like playing the game, I play the game.
Mm.
I mostly just like the characters, to be honest.
My issue is it takes far too much effort to actually bother keeping up to date with dailies on like 4 gachas at once. That is no point.
We have 3 minutes to get
Yeah.
a cargo ship kill.
That's
No,
good.
I totally get that.
I am about to go bonk into a bridge, I think, because, you know, this tiny little steel pole, it's about maybe a foot across, is totally invincible and cannot be defeated by moving at 18 knots into a concrete suspension bridge.
Azure Lane takes way more effort than anything else to do dailies.
True.
If only there was a pool that stood up to the
Oh,
Germans.
never
as well.
mind. It just phased through the bridge.
I never actually read the article of
Sorry, what?
blah, 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 blah. I never actually read through North Carolina service history. I just opened the Wikipedia page and just sat there.
Let's say we have like 3
Oh,
different conversations.
that
going.
guy just hit the bridge and did a fucking wheelie.
Meanwhile, I just phased
That guy.
through it. Okay,
Destroyed with shots.
that's fine. I have a
just hurricane
Chapayev and a
season, man.
Wyoming setting me on fire repeatedly.
I'm distracted, but I don't care.
But yeah, if you don't get a cargo ship kill in like, oh, we need 2 cargo ship kills.
Well, yeah, that's not going to happen. Unless I were to like J out and get in a plane.
Yeah,
And
don't
even
jet out
then-
your Wyoming. That's dumb.
Yeah, I know. And knowing
For
my
the-
luck, I'd get shot down as soon as I spawned.
Man, hurricane season lasts until the end of November? Pain.
Hmm.
I want hurricane season to end already.
I'd like Gaijin to not make it so that getting touched by a shell sets the entire ship on fire every single time I get hit.
Hurricane season has literally no effect on me. I just want it to end so they finally move Texas.
Hmm. Salvo hits me. 2 seconds later, I'm on fire. As in, the salvo hits me, the shells disappear and go away into the water behind me, and then I'm on fire.
$35 I don't think we're gonna get this. Oh, they've took out something else. Yeah, we're fucked.
Yep. This match sucked.
So they put her in the Atlantic in case Tirpitz showed up. Nothing happened with that. Moved to the Pacific. Bunch of carrier escort.
Oh, you got best squad.
This time, the enemy has proven
I got first place, and if I could stock Wilt over.
And I got third place by just getting shot repeatedly.
Come on, give me sap shells.